If you've been seeing, like, what are you, what when you're typing like an outline or notes, or are you like an Omni outliner, or like what's your go-to for, like, I need to go dump a lot of ideas? Where do you go for that?
I've got a couple of different places.
But like on your computer, where would you have gone?
Well, where I normally would have gone is I've taken a cue from the Merlin Mann book, Notational Velocity.
Oh, it's pretty badass, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
Did you get the one Stephen Frank? Stephen Frank forked it and added in Markdown support.
No. And I'm going to do that now.
It's totally
because,
cool.
Oh,
Stephen
man.
Frank's my hero.
Oh, no, yeah, I've got to do that.
So
because
you just
I love
open up,
Markdown.
you go create a new note, and you start typing,
Yep.
and you're typing and hitting return.
Yeah, exactly. So, and before I picked up Notational Velocity, I had
just
write
new
room
line,
and
new
was
line,
just,
new line, new line?
Okay. Yeah, pretty much. And so I'll capture down, and I did that in OmniFocus for a long time until I started realizing that was just the wrong place to put it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I would have stuff that was in there for absolutely months at a time.
It's like storing your recipes in the oven.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
so,
why do I say that? Because like really, the oven's for cooking. It's not for
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you're supposed to take things out of OmniFocus.
Well, the thing I'm always banging on people, whatever you use, and again, I'm a partisan of OmniFocus. I do work with them.
Yeah.
I always like to disclose.
Right.
Is that if you're not really using the inbox, you'll never get the benefit out of OmniFocus. You can piss and moan about how it's hard to understand or whatever all day long, but the problem is most people have gotten so tricked out with OmniFocus, they forget what the inbox is for. Whether it's their email or OmniFocus or whatever. The inbox is for a place. It's for unprocessed. It's for stuff you haven't processed or stuff you haven't made a decision about. Right. And the reason I ask you that is, like, there's two reasons that I think are super interesting about what you're describing. Because first of all, like for myself, I love Omni Outliner, but to be honest, I do a lot of my outlining in TextMate, and I write everything in multi-markdown, and it's very easy to just very quickly have a bullet tab, and But think about the difference even between using a notational velocity and an outliner. Well, first of all, if you're using, and for you folks who don't know, notational velocity is just a straight up, it's a text editor, but it's got some really interesting incremental search features. But the thing is, it supports tabs, but it doesn't natively make it easy to create a taxonomy within a document unless you choose to create one. So you're kind of forcing, like with the Moleskine, you're kind of forcing yourself out of the mode of like organizational thinking. And again, I am not a neurologist. I will defer to my shrink on this because he here's what I do, and he tells me if I got the science wrong. But he's like, careful with that limbic system stuff. but truly, I mean, this goes straight back to those modes. Exactly. This endless selection of tools and options is its own kind of crippling procrastination. I know that's obvious, but like this is why I kind of changed what I was doing with my site, because it ends up you just throw this at people and they think the answer is to go find another tool instead of saying, the best camera the best camera is the one you got with you.
Yeah.
But so even notational velocity versus something like an outliner type product. And so when you're using now you're sitting there, you got a pen and pencil. What are you writing with in the Moleskine?
Just pencil. Yeah.
I'm a Pentel. I'm a Pentel 0.5.
Yeah, I do. I have an Alvin or a Rotring 0.5.
Ooh, Rotrings are those hexagonal ones?
Yeah, the hexagonal ones.
Those are badass.
Yeah, those are great.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out. Also, I got a new pen I'm very excited about. I do not tell John Gruber that I spent 8 weeks trying to find one of these. These are relatively hard to find. No, but this is the RT gel.
Yeah.
0.38. It's a Uniball Signo RT Gel 0.38.
Ooh, that's nice and thin.
It is.
That's nice and thin.
It's also smooth. See,
yeah,
this is sad.
Yeah, because of the gel. See, now we're getting into that dorky thing because.
But here's the thing. Okay, here's the difference. And I have the pendulum has swung back. And I don't know if you heard, I did an interview with a wonderful couple people. David and Katie did this show called it's like Mac Power User podcast, and it's basically they wanted to start doing this thing on workflows. It turned out people love this. It was like an hour and a half of me talking about how I work.
Yeah.
And I was happy to share it because I wasn't saying go buy a notebook.
Right.
What I was saying was tacitly, and this is why this would be an interesting companion interview, is in order for me to work in a certain mode, here are the tools that support that. Right? Everything that's not Microsoft Word has some usefulness. Excel, hell, I do a certain kind of thinking in Excel that I can't do anywhere else.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the reason I ask, let me give you a really specific example of this. Why am I asking you this?
Sure.
Have you ever done mind mapping?
Yeah.
Dude,